Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So people have been asking me about context and like what it means. They might hear me say it sometimes and then not really know what I mean. So this is just going to be a quick video kind of separating context from setups in some examples of this day. So I actually didn't trade this day. This is February 6th. My power was out that day, so I didn't trade. So I thought this would be a good day to go over. So anyway, here, this is a failed second entry. You can see first entry short, second entry short, failure. And then you can also look at it as uptrend, break, first attempt higher, second attempt higher, or this downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. So the context is good because you can expect a reversal here. And that actually is why some failed second entries are called reversal patterns, because a reversal pattern is really just a failed second entry that is at an area that you'd expect a reversal. And so if you form the overnight low and then rush above the EMA, you can expect a possible reversal. It's coming off the overnight low. It's coming off what formed the overnight low. That's a perfect place for a reversal. And so a failed second entry here would have good context. There are better setups, like ones that hold both times off the EMA. I do actually like this setup. It's closing above the EMA. It's clearly it was able to hold above it there, and then it does go back below it there, and so it's kind of just chopping a back and forth above and below. But with the context, I really like that setup, even though it's not a perfect setup. The setup isn't so bad that I can't take it at all. Like if this had closed way below down here, then I wouldn't like it at all. But the fact that it has really good context and then a pretty decent setup, I like it. And so then here's an example here. So this is a failed second entry. You can see here, so first entry short, second entry short, failure. Now this is an example of not a very good setup and not very good context. So I'll put this measured move here so now we can see that we already have this uptrend break, new high, in the form of two measured legs. It turned down basically to the tick. And then as soon as it turns down, you get this push down, this break, and then you get the second entry long, except it looks like it holds down to the short side, like it tried to get through the EMA, it couldn't, and then just closed below. And so clearly the EMA is rejecting prices there a lot more than it's accepting them, and so you don't have a good setup here. So there's no good setup. Now let's look at the context. Where are we at with the context? We have these two legs up. We can expect a reversal down, and so if you have two legs up, the uptrend played out, and then you rush below the EMA, you can expect a reversal down. And so then we're only holding below the EMA, and then when this downtrend gets a break, we rush below the EMA and then hold it to the downside. So the context is we can expect a reversal down, which would mean that it is not good at all to go long. I'm going to take my jacket off real quick because it's kind of hot. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's the difference between context and setup. I'll go over a few more things here. But just to kind of recap, the setup, it can be a failed second entry, high or low, anything, and where it's happening on your chart. Like, is it just coming off of overnight lows? Is it coming off overnight highs? It has a major trend, played out recently, and then possible reversal, so maybe don't go long, such as that example. So there's just a few things like that. So now I like this setup better than this one, and so I'll go over why. So here, now you have this downtrend, but instead of having a little tiny break in two small attempts at a new low, it's a more significant break. So now you have downtrend, break, clear attempt at a new low. It made a double bottom, with that previous low, and then as soon as it made that double bottom, it rushed above the EMA. It held above. It did close back below a little bit. It's clearly holding above the EMA more than it's closing below. We push up. We get first entry short, second entry short, failure. Now, the reason that this has better context than this one is because this downtrend has really tried to play out there. Instead of just having a couple pushes down, holding below the EMA every time, this time it actually made a double bottom, very significant attempt, but then it actually held above the EMA both times. And so since this downtrend played out, that kind of makes up for this uptrend playing out, because the full downtrend is already break, double bottom, and then this would basically be seen as a second attempt at a new low. These two legs right here, it would be like downtrend break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. And so I don't exactly like the setup though. So the context is actually pretty good. The downtrend played out, which makes up for that uptrend playing out, and then you're holding above the EMA. But you look exactly like a range in here. It's clearly rejected that range right there on that entry bar, and then you're just entering directly into resistance. It's just flat. It's very clear. It's directly into it. If you could have gotten filled back here, or if this bar, say, I should probably zoom in. If this bar like closed all the way down here, and then if you could actually get out, say with 1-to-1 at these highs, that would probably be good. But you just don't get that. Price just bounced right off that. I'll try to draw it here. On the entry bar, it rejects it. It's just very choppy. So the setup is not good. The context is actually pretty good, but the setup is actually so bad that I would not even want to take it, even though it has okay context. It has pretty good context, but it's not as good as this, because this is like a major area, an overnight low. This is reversing from this much shorter downtrend rather than this very large downtrend having two attempts at a new low failing. So I hope I'm being clear here. And then here, this is another example. So it's another failed second entry. This applies. I should have done some other trades. I basically just did failed second entries for examples on this video. But yeah, this applies to anything. Like if you have even a higher low after coming off an overnight low is better than taking a higher low that's, at the high of an uptrend very far away from the EMA, say. And so right here, this area is a good context area for a reversal pattern. You can also view this right here. We have first leg down, break, first attempt, and then the second attempt to reach the second leg, and then we immediately bounced at the overnight low. It went a little bit below, but as soon as we reached it, basically, it just rushed above the EMA. But then the setup is not very good. The context is okay because we can expect a reversal at this area. We are coming off the overnight low. We just rushed above the EMA. Two major legs down. You can absolutely expect a reversal here, but then you go into a range right here. And then you're entering directly into the highs, and it clearly, if you entered that, it struggled to get through, and it tried to close back down, and then you barely got through. It's funny because these examples that I don't like are working in this case. I don't think this one, maybe if you went for a good target you wouldn't have gotten it, but if you went 1-to-1 on these, it looks like you made them. But yeah, I do not like these setups. I'm probably gonna end the video here. I just wanted to do a quick video showing some context examples. Just some people weren't sure what I meant by context. They were kind of mixing them up with setups and didn't really separate them. And so you got to separate the context from the setup. It's very important. But yep, that's really going to be it for this video. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.